Welcome, not to a story you've heard before, not to the echoes of failure or the shallow applause of those content with mediocrity. No, this is your stage, carved from the shadows where others feared to tread. They told you it couldn't be done, that the walls of impossibility were impenetrable, that 50 years of trying, of grinding, of watching others rise and fall would amount to nothing. Yet, here you are. They called it a mystery, a problem they couldn't solve, a puzzle beyond their understanding. The FBI called you a mystery asset, not because you sought attention, but because you embodied a force they could not name, a presence they could not predict, a skill they could not contain. For 50 years, the world moved in circles, repeating the same errors, trapped in their certainties, blind to the possibility that someone, somewhere, could rise above the noise, above the expectation, and do what should have been impossible. And you did. You moved through the shadows of doubt, past the walls built by fear, beyond the eyes trained to see, but never truly observe. You became what they could not anticipate, a singular presence, a catalyst, a force whose existence challenges the very rules they believed unbreakable. You became the anomaly, the edge of human capability, the whispered question behind every closed door. Who did this? There is power in being the unseen, in moving while the world watches others stumble, in holding a vision so unshakable that the very idea of failure bends and fractures around it. You have known what it is to wait, to endure, to carry the weight of impossibility on shoulders that refuse to break. Each night, when the world slept, you sharpened your resolve. Each day, when others faltered, you advanced. And every step you took was a silent declaration that no limitation, no convention, no institution could define the scope of what you were capable of. This is not a story of luck, nor of timing. Luck does not survive 50 years of effort. Timing does not conquer years of stagnation. No, this is a story of persistence so relentless that it becomes a force unto itself, a storm that sweeps away doubt, that erodes impossibility into memory. They may write reports, speculate endlessly, theorize your methods, and puzzle over the evidence, but the truth is simpler and darker than they imagine. You acted when they could not. You moved when they hesitated. You became a presence that defied prediction, an answer they never thought to ask for, and a solution that emerged from a mind and will sharper than any protocol. And understand this, what you achieved is not merely accomplishment, it is legend. Not the kind praised in broad daylight, celebrated in headlines, or recorded in trophies. No, it is the kind that moves in whispers, that is acknowledged in the tension of those who realize they have been outmatched by something they cannot define. You did not just achieve what they failed at for 50 years. You became proof that the rules they live by are not universal. You became proof that one determined mind can bend the arc of decades, that one vision unshaken can change outcomes, meant to be immutable. Every action, every decision, every silent hour, spent mastering what others ignored, has built a monument not visible to the casual eye. The FBI can call you a mystery asset, but that title is hollow compared to what you truly are. A force that moves unseen, a power that compels respect without uttering a word, a legacy that will endure long after the walls of doubt crumble into dust. Remember this as you continue your journey. You are not defined by what others tried and failed to do. You are defined by what you did. You are defined by the distance no one else dared to travel, by the persistence that burned while the world waited for someone else to act, by the quiet, relentless mastery that now carries the weight of 50 years of impossibility and bends it into proof of your singular capability. They think the world moves forward in straight lines, measured, predictable, confined by the limits they believe are absolute. They do not understand that true power lives in the fractures, in the unseen angles, in the spaces where hesitation and fear have no claim. You learned this long ago. You learned that what they call impossibility is merely a canvas waiting for someone brave enough to paint with audacity. You moved when the rules said, stand still. You acted when caution whispered to wait. You achieved when 50 years of failure had convinced them that no solution could ever emerge. And yet, here you are, unbroken, unshaken, undeniable. Every person, every institution, every agent who tried to measure your impact with their charts and statistics failed because you exist outside their framework. Their calculations crumble before the precision of your resolve. Their reports, their files, their endless surveillance are just shadows of the truth. You are not meant to be understood. You are meant to act, to achieve, to rise in a way that leaves others questioning not just how it happened, but whether it should have. You are the anomaly they cannot classify, the variable that breaks their system, the answer they did not have the courage to seek. There is a quiet horror in mastery that others will never know. It is not the horror of pain or struggle. It is the horror of realization, the subtle, unnerving understanding that someone has moved beyond expectations so completely that their previous attempts seem childish in comparison. That is what you embody. 50 years of attempts have failed before you even set your first step. They did not see the vision. They did not feel the persistence. They did not have the endurance to carry the weight of impossible. But you did. You carried it with a calm that unsettles, with a precision that unnerves, with a confidence that demands recognition, whether they give it or not. Remember this, the path you walk is not illuminated, it is forged. And every step you take is a testament not only to skill, but to the courage to embrace darkness where others would flee. The shadows do not scare you, they sharpen you. The silence does not bind you, it trains you. The waiting, the watching, the anticipation, they are tools in your hands, instruments in the symphony of inevitability you conduct. You do not stumble, you glide. You do not guess, you calculate. You do not hesitate, you execute. That is the difference between those who tried and those who succeeded. That is why 50 years of failure bowed to the weight of your determination. Do not mistake recognition for achievement. The FBI can call you a mystery asset, newspapers could speculate, rivals may wonder, and yet it is irrelevant. You are beyond labels. You are beyond their systems, their analysis, their attempts to fit you into a box. Your achievement is not for approval. It is a statement, a living proof that one mind, one will, one vision can do what 50 years of effort could not. You are the exception, the catalyst, the storm that appears suddenly, changes everything, and leaves behind the echoes of disbelief. And in this darkness, this shadow of what others could not accomplish, lies the ultimate truth. No one will remember the hesitations, the small failures, the endless repetition that preceded your rise. They will only remember the moment when impossibility broke, when their expectations were shattered, when a mystery emerged from the silence and rewrote everything. That is your legacy. Not in words, not in praise, not in headlines, but in the undeniable truth of what you made possible. You moved when they could not. You endured when they gave up. You conquered when they could only despair. So continue forward and let the world marvel, fear or envy as it will. Let them try to label you, contain you, understand you. They cannot. Your power lies in the unseen, the calculated, the inevitable. You are the culmination of 50 years of human limitation, and in your hands, limitation bends, fractures, and disappears. You are the mystery they could never solve, the answer they could not reach, the force they could not stop. And the best part? You have only begun. They do not see the nights you spent alone, the silent hours when doubt whispered that perhaps this task was beyond even you. They do not see the moments when failure nearly touched your hands, the fleeting seconds when exhaustion threatened to claim victory as its own. They only see the result, the shadow that moves through impossibility with precision, the calm that unnerves those who chase but cannot catch. And this is exactly how it should be, because true mastery is born in isolation, tempered in secrecy, and forged in the fires no one else dared approach. You have become something that exists beyond ordinary comprehension. 50 years of collective effort could not produce what you did because they lacked vision, focus, and the ruthless patience to wait for the perfect moment. You understood that time itself is not a constraint, but a tool, a canvas on which your persistence paints its truth. You moved while they debated. You acted while they hesitated. And in that space, that thin sliver between possibility and impossibility, you carved your path and left a mark no one can erase. Every challenge you faced became a test, not only of skill, but of character. Every obstacle, every barrier, every skeptical gaze was a reflection of their limitations, not yours. You do not stumble at walls. They exist only to be overcome. You do not fear the unknown. It exists only to be mastered. And when the world whispered impossible, you smiled in the darkness, for you had already seen the outcome that 50 years of failure could never imagine. You are the embodiment of focus, cunning, and resilience. They cannot quantify it. They cannot classify it. They only know the result, and that is enough to unsettle even the most methodical minds. The FBI may call you a mystery asset, but that is only a name. It does not capture the essence of what you have become. You are a phenomenon, a singular force of human will that bends circumstance, challenges expectation, and operates in spaces others cannot comprehend. You are proof that one determined mind, one unwavering purpose, one relentless spirit can achieve in moments what decades of effort cannot. And yet, there is more. For mastery is not merely the achievement of what others cannot. It is the transformation of the self into something beyond ordinary measure. You have not simply done what they failed to do. You have evolved. You have learned to see the patterns they cannot see, to hear the rhythms they cannot hear, to anticipate the moves they cannot predict. You have become something both human and greater than human, a mind capable of dancing on the edges of impossibility, a will that commands reality rather than submits to it, a presence that others sense before they even understand it. Do not underestimate the weight of this accomplishment. 50 years of collective effort, of tradition, of expertise could not match what you accomplished alone. Every file they opened, every meeting they held, every simulation they ran was insufficient because they lacked the one element you have in abundance: vision coupled with action, patience tempered by precision, silence balanced by impact. You are the eye in the storm of their collective failure, the calm and certainty in a world defined by hesitation, the living proof that limits are only as real as those who impose them. Now, as you move forward, understand this. Your journey is not measured by recognition or applause. The shadow of your presence is enough to shift outcomes, to rewrite expectations, to leave history asking questions it cannot answer. You do not need to justify your existence, explain your methods, or seek permission. You are beyond those concerns. You are the force that operates when others falter, the unseen hand that directs outcomes, the presence that reminds the world of what is possible, when someone refuses to surrender to impossibility. And in this truth lies your greatest power, that even when no one is watching, even when the world doubts, even when 50 years of effort has failed, you continue. You continue because you are not bound by conventional limits. You continue because your vision is relentless. You continue because you are the one who steps into the shadows, bends reality, and emerges victorious where others could only falter. You are the mystery they cannot solve, the answer they cannot anticipate, the force that reshapes everything it touches. They cannot see it, but the world has already changed because of you. Every system they designed, every measure they created, every method they perfected, all of it bends quietly under the weight of your presence. They call it a mystery, a force they cannot quantify, a variable outside their understanding. And they are right. For what you have become is not just an achiever of impossible feats. It is an idea, a shadow, a truth that cannot be denied, that one relentless mind can bend decades of failure into a single, undeniable moment of mastery. Do not let them tell you who you are. You are not what their reports say. You are not what their charts predict. You are not contained by the structures they trust. You are the anomaly, the inevitability that moves silently, reshaping everything it touches. They will never understand how you did it, because it was never about brute force or luck. It was about seeing where others could not, moving when others hesitated, enduring when others gave up, and maintaining a clarity of purpose so absolute that it cannot fail. That is the power they fear. That is the truth they cannot control. Every choice you made, every risk you embraced, every quiet victory over doubt and fear has built more than success. It has built legend. 50 years of human effort failed because it lacked the depth of your focus, the precision of your action, the courage to act in silence, while others waited for permission, recognition, or certainty. You understood that true accomplishment is not about visibility, it is about impact. Not about praise, but inevitability. Not about noise, but resonance. And this is why they call you a mystery asset, because you operate beyond the predictable, beyond the measurable, beyond the grasp of those who think they understand the world. There is a strange beauty in being beyond comprehension. While they chase formulas, statistics, and procedures, you move in a realm where such measures are irrelevant. While they debate, hesitate, and falter, you act with a precision that bends time itself to your will. While they predict failure, you rewrite reality. And in this space, in this rarefied zone where persistence, vision, and mastery converge, you become unstoppable. Not because you are flawless, but because you are unshakable. Not because you are flawless, but because you are unshakable. Not because you are visible, but because your effect is undeniable. Not because the world agrees, but because it cannot deny the truth of your power. Understand this. Your legend is not built on what they see, but on what they cannot. They will never fully understand the hours you spent preparing, the silence you endured, the invisible calculations that led to a single, perfect moment of triumph. They will never know the sacrifices you made, the doubts you faced, the relentless internal discipline that carried you across the boundaries they thought impassable. And that is precisely what makes you extraordinary. You do not seek their understanding. You do not wait for their approval. You act, you endure, you create, and the world is forced to reckon with the outcome. This is the reality of being the one who succeeds where 50 years of effort failed. It is a lonely path, a shadowed road, a relentless test of courage, endurance, and ingenuity. And yet, it is in this very solitude that your power grows, where your vision sharpens, where your will becomes unbreakable. They may call it a mystery, they may try to label it, but nothing they do can diminish what you have achieved, what you continue to achieve, and what you will always become. You are not defined by them. You are defined by the relentless truth of your own capability. So carry this with you as you move forward. The impossible is no longer a barrier, it is a stage. The failures of decades are not warnings, they are your proving ground. The doubt of the masses is not a limitation, it is fuel. The world may try to stop you, understand you, categorize you, and contain you, but it cannot. You are the answer no one expected, the force no one anticipated, the presence that transforms impossibility into inevitability. And as you continue, know that your journey is no longer measured in effort or years. It is measured in impact, in legacy, in the unstoppable truth that you are the one who did what they could not. Now, listen closely, for this is where the story ceases to be about them, about the world, about the 50 years of futile attempts. This is where it becomes about you, and the truth that has carried you through every shadow, every obstacle, every silent hour where doubt could have taken hold. You are no longer simply someone who achieved the impossible. You are a phenomenon, a living testament that human will, sharpened by purpose and tempered by patience, can transcend everything the world thought unbreakable. You are proof that limits exist only to be challenged, boundaries only to be crossed, and impossibilities only to be rewritten. Do not underestimate the power you now wield. It is not in weapons, reports, or recognition. It is in presence. It is in the quiet certainty that courses through your actions. It is in the inevitability of your results. The way outcomes bend silently, inexorably, toward your influence. 50 years of others' attempts failed because they lacked this. They lacked vision, unshaken by doubt, patience, unbroken by delay, and the courage to step into the void when all else seemed certain. You possessed all of these and more. You possess the mind that sees the invisible lines, the hand that moves decisively, and the will that endures without faltering. The world may whisper your name in speculation, may attempt to classify you, may call you a mystery asset, a question, an enigma. Let them. Titles do not define power. Recognition does not measure mastery. What you have done, what you continue to do, what you are capable of achieving, these are your truths. And the greatest truth of all is this: you have already changed the game. You have already altered the course of history in ways they cannot perceive. You are a force that operates beyond expectation, beyond calculation, beyond the reach of those who would try to contain you. And now, standing on the edge of everything they believed impossible, you realize that the story does not end here. The true measure of your journey is not the 50 years they failed, nor the mystery they cannot solve, nor even the triumph you now hold. It is what comes next. It is the continuation of a force that refuses to rest, refuses to falter, refuses to be constrained. You are the storm that others do not see until it is upon them. The shadow that moves unnoticed, yet reshapes reality. The power that does not demand recognition because its impact cannot be denied. Carry this forward. Let the world feel the weight of your presence in silence, in calculation, in inevitability. Let them wonder. Let them fear. Let them marvel. Let them question. None of it matters. You are beyond their comprehension, beyond their control, beyond their understanding. The path you have walked alone for decades was not for applause or acknowledgement. It was for mastery, for inevitability, for the undeniable proof that one relentless mind can accomplish in a single life what 50 years of collective effort could not. And finally, Remember this. Legends are not built in light. They are forged in shadow. They are not written in agreement. They are carved in defiance. They are not measured by what others can see. They are defined by what others cannot comprehend. You are that legend. You are the shadow moving through impossibility. You are the force that bends reality to vision. You are the one who did what they could not, and in doing so, became something eternal, something unstoppable, something that will echo long after those who doubted are forgotten. Step forward now, not with hesitation, not with fear, not without doubt. Step forward with the quiet certainty that defines you, the resolve that cannot be broken, and the vision that cannot be contained. The world may call you a mystery. The world may call you a shadow. The world may never truly understand, but it will always remember the outcome. It will always reckon with the power you hold. It will always know in the deepest part of its consciousness that you did what they could not. You are unstoppable. You are inevitable. You are the mystery that became the answer. And now, nothing, not time, not doubt, not impossibility, can ever stand in your way.